This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, point of verse 13. Let's start at verse 12. And it reads, And thou shalt eat it as start at verse 10. It says, And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day from time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin from time to time shalt thou drink. Verse 12, And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. Verse 13, And the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, Elohim, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. I say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwatha to listen and learning, Lord, willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and online and other nations appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh South out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. This lesson is in regards to an article I seen a couple days ago, but it popped up in my Newsbreak app, so I took it like the Spirit wanted me to bring it out. And it's going into Tyson chicken. Basically, that devil Klaus Schwab made the statement about how you're gonna eat the bugs. You're gonna eat the bugs. I've seen brothers mimic him. But even a few Edomites that these different economists that I'll be watching, they've mimicked him as well. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I can imagine I've heard him speak. Anyhow, and basically, well, I'm gonna bring out the article, and you'll get what I mean by what they're doing. But when you read Ezekiel, the point is where it says Israel or the children of Israel shall eat. The children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So, at the end of the day, especially in Babylon the Great, aka America, the food is defiled based on, you got GMOs, the different experimentations and things they're doing to the food. They're cloning food, they growing their own seeds, Monsanto and whatnot, and that's why the food is so defiled. Now, in this account, Ezekiel was told by Yahweh Shem Shah to eat the food defiled by man's dung. And he pleaded with the Lord, which you will read. It says, verse 14, Then said I, Lord Yahweh by Shem Shah power, behold, my soul have not been polluted. For from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. So he spared Ezekiel from eating, man's dung, and he made him eat cow's dung. Nonetheless, he's eating dung shit, you know what I mean? And his food is garbage and shit, Again, with all the experimentations they're doing. And that's another reason why people are so unhealthy, when you go into something, like apple or fruit, some of the most healthiest stuff that you can possibly eat, but because they're genetically modifying it, turn it into garbage. That's why, again, a lot of people are sickly because, you are what you eat. Yeah. And when you go into how America, its food products are, you got in certain countries where a lot of stuff like GMOs are banned and, food colorings are banned. In America, you'll have those flaming hot Cheetos. I wasn't even aware of it. I normally don't give my children spicy food or snacks or anything, but Jake children love them spicy chips. And one day, the center that they were dealing with used to take them to the store to get a snack, and she chose them snacks. So I bought a box of them one day, and come to find out, you're not even supposed to give them that food coloring because they might have flaming hot Cheetos in another country, but it won't have the food coloring. So just showing you how defiled this place is. I'm gonna bring out a little bit of the article Lord willing, it is edifying. And it reads, it says Tyson Foods. Excuse me. Wow, this is crazy. It just was up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Satan ain't being busy. Okay, so it reads Tyson Foods, one of the biggest meat producers, is investing in insect protein. So Tyson Foods is one of the biggest, meat, um, you know, um, processing plants, meat producers, and I believe either they had a fire or one of the processing centers burned down, or they had to lay off a lot of employees, or they had to close a facility or something. So I remember doing a video on this. It says Tyson, a major U.S. producer of beef, pork, and chicken, is betting on protein that comes from insects. The meat processor said on Tuesday that it has invested in Protix, a Netherlands-based insect ingredients maker. Tyson is not only making a minority stake in it's like it not only Tyson is not only taking a minority stake in the company, but is working alongside it to build a U.S. factory. The facility will use animal waste to feed black soldier flies, which then will be turned into food for pets, poultry, and fish. Tyson did not disclose the financial specifics of the deal. So basically, they're gonna take this, protein, this animal protein, and or this insect protein, and turn it into protein or food for animals. That's what they're telling you on paper. But who's to say? When you go look at the labels, you look at the label of when you look at the ingredients of what something, the packaging, the label of when you buy a product, it'll give you like some straightforward words, but then sometimes they'll come with these long, drawn out words that you could barely pronounce. You got to spell. You know what I mean? And usually that's some shit that they done, GMO'd. I remember the last Passover, because I've participated in a few Passovers. I remember, it seemed like each year we learn more and more, and that's what, in my mind, make this place really hellish, because I know the Lord shields us from the fact of what all this devil is doing. There's videos where you got individuals looking at it like they found like it was a guy. It's supposed to be a roast, but it looked like a titty. So you don't know what we're eating for real. And that's why, again, when you go into Ezekiel 4, it says, you shall eat your bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, wherever Yahweh Bashem Yahshua shall drive through. Now, like I said, although other countries, everything is polluted under this devil's rule. As a matter of fact, let me go get that. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 24. And the point is verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And who's changed the laws and transgressed the laws? These devils that call themselves being the people. These devils that basically said that they established this country on the Bible, on the scriptures. Yet and still, if that's the case, America's only been around for what, 1776. It ain't even been around for, it ain't even been around but for like 250 years roughly. And already, that short amount of time, you've literally, the things that's spoken of or that's against the scriptures, you proclaim and elevate in the society. It says, transgress the laws, change the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Now, they never really had the covenant, but the scriptures tell you, who are thou to declare thy statutes. You wanted to claim yourself to be the people of the scriptures, so you're going to be judged according to the scriptures. And the scriptures talk about drinking double, that cup. You're going to drink it double. I was listening to the Elder Mawatazak, and he was going into, when you want to find out what that cup is, go into Psalm 75. Let's be honest. This devil's more than likely. You got what they call filler meat. You know, you got filler meat. You got like when you get ground beef, it might be 85% beef and 15% filler. Well, that filler could be that protein, this insect shit. Because again, they won't tell you straight out, oh, okay, this is this. They'll come up with a long, drawn out name that you probably, if you're not diligent or studious, you can be like, oh, fuck that shit, and not even look into it. Again, during the Passover, a brother broke down the fact of, when you thinking you got leaven, because you're looking for leaven, yeast and all that. But they got all these long drawn out names. I mean, I saved the post the brother did. It's like 12 names of these long, complicated scientific names that all mean leaven. That's all yeast. Well, why do the devil got to do that? Because it's naturally in his spirit to do that. He's anti-Messiah. Those flies are not going into human food. And that's a spirit, because I didn't even read that part. But scriptures tell you never trust thine enemy. Today we're focused on more of an ingredient application with insert protein that we are a consumer application, said John R. Tyson's chief financial officer of Tyson Foods. And again, you can't trust the devil. You know what I'm saying? Again, that devil, like I remember right after him making that statement about you will eat the bugs, how certain certain grocery stores like Giant Eagle, because we have a Giant Eagle in Cleveland. Giant Eagle, which is a popular name grocery store, literally had crickets for sale. You know what I mean? Bad crickets. Now brothers have tried it. I've tried cricket. Yeah, like I said, it tastes like a peanut lightweight. You know what I mean? Like you can get past the wings and shit like that. You know what I mean? If you was just to be eating it closed or you didn't see what you was eating, you know what I mean? But that's lawful to eat. These devils got these devils got what do you call them? Roach cockroach farms. Moab got them, Esau got them. Now what's the purpose of that? And when you go into that movie Snowpiercer, they was eating roach bars. So while this devil talking about it's not gonna go into your food, and a fly is a very nasty ass insect. A fly be on some shit and then come and touch your food. You know what I'm saying? A fly be in garbage and then come and land on your food. Insect protein long held as a substantial food source. Now, just that quick, they'll say, it ain't going to your food, but then it's been long held to be a substantial food source, hasn't caught on in mainstream, but in recent years, interest in insects as ingredients for animal food has been growing. So again, like I say, and like in that movie Snowpiercer, it showed, how these devils actually think. In that movie, that showed you how society, at the front of the train was those that were, considered more of elite, and at the back of the train was considered the poor. So that's like Jake and Esau. And they was eating roach protein bars in that movie. So with that, this devil, it's a surely his turn of things upside down, because you will have individuals trusting this devil. Like I said, with the GMOs, you got people that thinking that it's better to eat something genetically modified. All fruit's supposed to have a seed, just like man produces a seed. This devil want to literally create shit. It tells you in Ezekiel chapter 28, he want to be as the Most High. And that's the whole point of this whole NWO, this whole beast system. He wants to be omnipotent. He wants to be omnipotent. Either way you say it, it's the same thing. All seeing, all knowing. And like I said, I heard the elder Yashawamba from Dallas make the statement, on a carnal level, it is, you would say, well, damn, he ingenious. He gonna watch over his kingdom 24/7. But in actuality, it's like the most foolish, stupid, dumbest thing ever, because, you got a judgment coming for this. You playing with the Most High's creation, and that's what the scriptures talk about. The Most High gonna bring judgment. This is the book of Psalms chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse Let's start at verse 2. Point is verse 7. And it reads, I'm going to start at verse 1. Psalms 9 and verse 1. I will pray, it says, to the chief musician upon Muthlababin. Muthlababin, a psalm of David. I will praise thee, O Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. With my whole heart I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee, and I will sing praises. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. Verse 3, when mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. And this devil is going to fall and perish at the presence of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, they already trembling now. You know, when you really take the time to think about how these devils move, you know what I mean? Like, they know they got a short time. Look, like, they botching shit up like for, you know, centuries. They've moved with, you know, with precision and stealth in the background. But now things are coming so close to a head. They moving sloppy, like with the whole situation with the, you know, Israel and the Hamas and all that. You know, how it came out of how the, you know, the soldiers were moved from the, you know, you know, the area that they supposed to guard, just so happened. And now these two countries are at war, or you constantly bombing, you know, Palestine and, you know, the Iranians, but yet still now the soldiers move. And who's to say what's the truth? But I've heard a few brothers bring that out. You know what I mean? You know, it's not even just we are beginning to go into World War III. We are in World War III. It just hasn't been announced yet like that. You know, best believe, why you think they talk about sending troops over to Israel? You know, that's the spirit. I was gonna do a video on it. I archived it. I just saw a video on the news breakout. They was talking about how you had soldiers attacked in Iran by a drone, U.S. soldiers. So this shit about to pop off. And I was listening to the elder, Apostle Tahar, the beloved elder. He was going into how World War III this morning. So, you know what I mean? That's the spirit. You know what I mean? Like, it says, verse 4, for thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne judging right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. And he hasn't done it right now, but the scriptures tell you in the book of Obadiah, this devil is going to be completely destroyed. You know, it ain't going to be no red Hebrew Edomite. Now, you know, I ain't going to go too deep, but, you know, as far as, you know, these pale looking people, these aliens, you know what I mean? These people that basically told, and show you how, you know, like Satan was really working with them. Like, they convinced the world of they do what is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, everybody in the world, there's more people in the world with color than without color, but they done convinced the world that, you know, they beautiful. You know, oh thou enemy. You know, it's kind of like how them fashion designers be literally, you know, you got these homosexual fashion designers, and then they got individuals wearing skirts and these nut-hugging pants and all this nut-hugging shorts, and then that's fashion. That's, you know, in this society. It says, O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorials perish with them. And this place, it tells you in the book of Isaiah, is going to be a desert. When the Lord has and puts the spirit on the nations to, you know, shoot those arrows or the ICBMs to this place, it's going to perpetually destroy this place forever. It's going to be, you know, a land that dwelleth with just basically desert creatures. That's how defiled this land is. You know, I read in Isaiah chapter 24, verse 7, the point. But the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment. Verse 8, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Verse 10, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, has not forsaken them that seek thee. But the point was, you know, the Lord going to judge them for all these different atrocities. This man trying to play the Most High. You know, this man touching the apple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's eye. You know, for even just defiling the earth. You know, the scriptures tell you about when this man taking down the very trees is going to sing. Because the trees are alive. You know, brothers going into that. He's like going into how trees can communicate with one another. Which is deep, you know what I mean? So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem. That's what I thought. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations. Subscribe to this truth to you. I say shalom. The next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.